Self-care. All right, we're going to continue with our board meeting, and next on the agenda is our superintendent's report. Dr. Hart?
Yep, thank you, Dr. Cielo. I would like to share with the board tonight that we have some really good news about Readington Middle School, and Mr. Charleston and Mrs. Mooney are here to share it with the full board, that our middle school has been named a school of distinction from the Association of Middle Level Educators. And just last week was the national conference down in Nashville, and we had some middle school teachers along with Mr. Charleston go and present the good work that we're doing here at our middle school. So I've asked him to come tonight to share with the full board some of the great work and highlight some of the great work from the middle school. So Mr. Charleston, I'll turn it over to you.
Dr. Hart, I'll bring up Ms. Mooney as well, so she can present. First off, it is such an honor to accept this award on behalf of the Readington Middle School community and the Readington School District. It is truly an honor. But just to give a little bit of kind of information, a little bit about the award so that you have some context. AMLA is the Association of Middle Level Educators. They are they're an organization that focuses solely on middle level education from students aged 10 to 15. And their Schools of Distinction is a recognition and continual improvement program that is looking to celebrate schools that have a commitment to the best practices outlined by, they have a foundational text, which is called The Successful Middle School, This We Believe. The Successful Middle School outlines a couple of really key areas. They're looking for schools that are responsive, challenging, empowering, equitable, and engaging. This is all centered around what they believe middle schoolers need. We do as well. And then there's 18 core characteristics they look for. They center around 3 distinct areas. They look at culture and community, curriculum, instruction and assessment, and then leadership and organization. And there's certain components in each one of them. So last year, I went to the national conference along with 2 teachers, Carrie Ann Hendershot and Jen Sabo. And after that conference, when we saw schools being recognized as schools of distinction, we immediately knew that Readington Middle School not only fit that criteria, but could be an exemplar for schools not only in New Jersey, but around the nation. So we set off on our journey to apply for the program, and they and I did a lot of work with this. They did a tremendous amount of work in compiling a application, which was very lengthy with a lot of detail. It's just probably about like a 50-page application for the program. And just because you submit an application does not mean that you are selected as a school of distinction. In fact, they have a year-long roadmap to guide you through that process. So the first thing is an application process. Then they conduct a school-wide survey over where they think the staff think that we are and aligned to those 18 core components. And then once they've done that, they provide us with a draft result, and then they decide whether or not they're going to move us forward in the process. A lot of schools apply for this. Not every school gets this award. And those schools who are then moved forward in the process, they have to do a site visit. So we conducted our site visit in late last May. And that was with students, parents, administrative staff, teachers, really a wide variety of stakeholders, probably about 35 to 40 people were interviewed in one day to look at what Readington Middle School is all about. And then we were actually notified in late June. I had to keep it mum that we were a school of distinction for a number of months before they were allowed to lift that ban and then embargo back in late August. So we are a school of distinction, many of you, and thank you for coming, those of you who could, to our celebration at our pep rally, where we could acknowledge that to our students and our staff and our wider community. And there was some press release, but it wasn't until just the past couple of days that myself and 6 teachers went down to Nashville to present at the national conference. So myself, Ms. Sabo, Ms. Hendershot, and Ms. Singer led a middle school session on joy and purpose about how we are meeting the needs of adolescents and trying to hit those 2 key components. And then myself, Mr. Daly, Ms. Bennington, and Ms. Greenberg led a session on civic engagement, how our approach to developing active citizens, and really our capstone project, Viking Visionaries, and also what we do with our Project Citizen projects that some of your students have actually done in the past. Really great sessions. The conference had about almost 3,000 people there. And it was really great to listen to other middle level educators and then to get honored a little bit. So we actually got to walk the red carpet that evening. We felt like celebrities, and in a world where sometimes education is not celebrated, it was truly something remarkable. And we have a gigantic banner, which is now sitting right in front of the school. We also have some of the awards that we were able to bring home. So we were awarded, this is our award, it's a 3-year award, and then, Ms. Mooney.
Sure. Best Administrative Camaraderie.
So each school got a superlative based off of their interview, and we were awarded this award as Best Administrative Camaraderie. And it really was a tremendous day, and it was an honor to receive this award on behalf of the school and the district, to know that we are doing really good things in our middle school. And we've already made a lot of connections with other schools who are actually reaching out to us to ask for some of our advice, how to change the schedule, how to bring a therapy dog in, and how to do a lot of other things too. So we ended our session and our site visit with our mission, which is something that I drive home each and every day. And this was not something that happened overnight. This is a reflection of years of work, years of program, years of support from the board and superintendents and other administrators, teachers, and parents to get an award like this. And just to show you how far we have come, on the right, well, I can't say it on the right because some of you are looking to the left, but so on the right is a picture of a current valuable Viking. Can I just like the laser pointer on that? Yeah, I can, nice. It's this one right here. That's our current valuable Viking. Many students and staff get valuable Vikings for going above and beyond. Last year, as Ms. Singer was going through some books to get weeded out of the library, out falls a piece of paper. And in it was a valuable Viking from the mid to late, we've chronologically dated it to the mid to late 90s of a valuable Viking. So it just goes to show you, we have been on this road for a while, and we continue to try to bring those valuable Vikings forward. But I just thought it would be interesting to show you all. So I just want to say thank you and appreciate it.
I think you forgot one thing that's important.
I'm sorry.
We're the first school in New Jersey
Yeah.
to receive this
Oh, wow.
award.
Yeah, we're the first school in New Jersey to receive this award. You're correct, Ms. Mooney. And we hope to be a guiding light for other schools in New Jersey and around the country.
Congratulations. Great work. A real testament to your hard work and the team's hard work over at the middle school. And I know that the application was lengthy and it was very involved. I know I was involved in interviews from AMLA. I know other supervisors were involved in some interviews just to get some perspective on the district as well. So job well done to both of you. Congratulations.
All right, we are now open to the public, limited to action items on the agenda. Moving on, correspondence, we received an email regarding our cell phone policy and also an email, a thank you as well to the RTEA. Moving on to board action, approval of administrative reports. Can we get a motion to adopt 1.01 and 1.02, which was read to us in executive session?
So move, Beth. Second, Carolyn.
And roll call, please.
Ms. DePinto,
Yes.
Mrs. Fiore,
Yes.
Mr. Lopes,
Yes.
Mrs. Menser,
Yes.
Mr. Peach,
Yes.
Mrs. Bogorski,
Yes.
Mrs. Ryan,
Yes.
Ms. Wolf,
Yes.
Dr. Sosiel,
Yes.
passes.
Can we get a motion to adopt 2.01 to 2.02?
So move, Beth. Second, Carolyn.
Roll call, please.
Ms. DePinto,
Yes.
Mrs. Fiore,
Yes.
Mr. Lopes.
Yes.
Mrs. Menser.
Yes.
Mr. Peach.
Yes.
Mrs. Bogorski.
Yes.
Mrs. Ryan.
Yes.
Mrs. Wolf.
Yes.
Dr. Starcia.
Yes.
Passes.
Moving on to finance and facilities, can we get a motion to adopt 3.01 to 3.12?
So move Beth. Second Carolyn.
And we have a committee report.
We do, yes. The Finance Committee met on Friday, October 18th. We discussed capital projects. An update on capital projects was provided, and all projects remain on track as planned. The White House art room and pre-K playground projects are complete. Ongoing projects include the RMS main office, HVAC, nurse suite, and furniture update, IT switch and access point project, and the first responder radio enhancement. Cafeteria equipment grant, the committee agreed to apply for a grant for flat top griddles. On the topic of referendum, stakeholder meetings including discussions with administration, staff, HSA, RTEA, and the Township of Readington have been held to gather questions and perspectives on the referendum. Once the final project list is complete and projected expenses are determined, the committee will review the estimated costs. A discussion was held regarding whether to conduct the referendum during the November election cycle or during a special election. After considering many factors, including referendum experiences from other districts, the committee agreed to consider a special election for the referendum. Upcoming milestones for the referendum include the November board meeting, which will feature a bond attorney referendum presentation. I understand that was delayed. And the December Board of Ed meeting will feature an open public forum on the same topic. Electric school bus update. An update on progress made and next steps was provided to the committee. The committee agreed a common foundational understanding of electric school bus utilization in other districts, risks and benefits were needed in order to make informed decisions for the district. The topic will be further discussed at future committee meetings. Safety and security. A brief overview of the safety manual and select safety procedures were reviewed. The reunification memorandum of understanding and the selected location were discussed. The finance bill list was reviewed, and the next meeting was set for November 20th.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions regarding those minutes? Okay. No? Can we get a roll call, please?
Mrs. DePinto.
Yes, except for 3.01, abstain from check number 064645.
Mrs. Fiore.
Yes.
Mr. Lopes.
Yes.
Mrs. Menser.
Yes.
Mr. Peach.
Yes.
Mrs. Bogorski.
Yes.
Mrs. Ryan.
Yes.
Mrs. Wolf.
Yes.
Dr. Starcia.
Yes.
Passes.
Moving on to ed tech, can I get a motion to adopt 4.01 to 4.11?
So move Beth. Second Carolyn.
And we do not have a committee report on ed tech, all right?
We don't. Can I just say really quick, we had to move, we proposed a new date for our meeting, November 22nd, and I haven't heard from everyone about that, just to see if committee members are available. So check calendars and please RSVP for that, because I need to get an alternate there. That's it. We've moved it from another meeting where I had checked in, so
Okay.
thank you.
Does anyone have any questions regarding what's on the agenda for this? Okay, can we get a roll call, please?
Mrs. DePinto.
Yes.
Mrs. Fiore.
Yes.
Mr. Lopes.
Yes.
Mrs. Menser.
Yes.
Mr. Peach.
Yes.
Mrs. Bogorski.
Yes.
Mrs. Ryan.
Yes.
Mrs. Wolf.
Yes.
Dr. Starcia.
Yes.
Passes.
Moving on to personnel, can we get a motion to adopt 5.01 to 5.14?
So moved, Jennifer?
Second Carolyn.
We have a committee report.
Yes, the committee met on October 30th and discussed board goals, the first being governance and structure. The Board of Education aims to enhance the effectiveness of its committees and overall board operations by conducting a comprehensive review of existing committee protocols, evaluate board onboarding processes, and study Robert's Rules of Order. Dr. Hart provided a recap of the discussion in Policy Committee that is captured in the Policy Committee minutes. And the Personnel Committee agreed that the majority of this goal should be tracked and actioned in the Policy Committee. Action steps discussed for personnel was that the Personnel Committee will monitor training opportunities for board members. The committee will suggest to the full board the possibility of creating a Hunterdon County School Boards delegate who will be responsible for attending a number of county meetings for the year and reporting back to the full board at public session. This will provide the dual purpose of sharing cross-county learnings with the full board and also allow new members an opportunity to work towards their new board member certification as part of that delegation. The second goal discussed was academic achievement. The board is dedicated to creating and implementing systems and frameworks that prioritize academic success, ensuring it remains a central focus in all decision-making. Action steps. A board member discussed requirements for dyslexia screenings and having teachers administer versus only computerized testing. Dr. Hart updated that additional teachers are getting Wilson certified, and a board member expressed that Dr. Hart does a great job of staffing and the personnel committee would be supportive of initiatives that support students. A board member said that Dr. Hart keeps the committee well informed on recommended staffing changes and expressed support for the district to confirm if there are any updated teacher needs in any areas, including ESL, 8th grade math, enrichment, and etc. The committee discussed staffing updates for 2024 to 2025, and an update on the substitute job fair was provided. Dr. Hart provided an update on the October 22nd event. The job fair was successful, 13 candidates to be approved to the substitute list, and this will be put forth for board approval at the next board meeting. The district will then get their schedule and location availability. The district organizational chart was reviewed, the NJ Educator Evaluation Report, and personnel matters. Agenda items are substitutes, hires, termination, out-of-district transportation agreement. And the next meeting is scheduled for December 6th, 2024 at 8:45 a.m.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Does anyone have any questions regarding those minutes?
I did have I have an
Sorry.
additional comment. No, it's not in the minutes. I have a
Okay.
comment. Just to clarify, in the committee, we discussed the Hunterdon County School Board's delegate. So I wanted to clarify that we do have a delegate for NJSBA currently, and as part of those responsibilities, the delegate has been attending county board meetings. So the conversation for the full board to consider and make recommendations is, one, to ensure that the delegate reports back in public session or forwards emails so that the full board gets that information from the county. And second, if we should consider separating out one delegate for the state meetings, I believe it's 2 annually, and 1 for the county meetings, which is roughly 4 annually. This would be to be proposed at the reorganization meeting in January, but wanted to get some insights from the full board for further discussion for the proposal for reorg.
Is that something you want to discuss?
So we can discuss now, or if you have suggestions, you can email to personnel and we can discuss further in committee and then bring it back.
Thoughts? Okay. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions regarding the personnel minutes at all? All right, can we get a roll call, please?
Ms. DePinto,
Yes.
Ms. Fiore,
Yes.
Mr. Lopes,
Yes.
Ms. Menzer,
Yes.
Mr. Peach,
Yes.
Ms. Zagorski,
Yes.
Ms. Ryan,
Yes.
Ms. Wolf,
Yes.
Dr. Susiel.
Yes.
Passes.
Moving on to communication, can we get a motion to adopt 6.01 to 6.02?
So move that. Second, Carolyn.
And we have a committee report.
Yes, we do. 2-pager this time. The committee met on October 29th. Now that the board has adopted its board goals for the year, we began our meeting by coming up with action items for the 2 goals that are relevant to our committee. 1, governance and structure, and 2, communications. For governance and structure, we discussed as an action item improving our onboarding process for new board members, which might include surveying existing board members about their onboarding experience, as well as a process for mentoring. Dr. Hart mentioned that the administration has already added items to the onboarding process that will take place this year. We also discussed possibly having the board establish a governance committee, which would monitor the work of the committees, though there are many details of this which would have to be addressed. In addition, we discussed offering training on Robert's Rules of Procedure and even distributing a booklet or guide on Robert's Rules to members. To enhance communications, we discussed various items in addition to carrying out the communications plan created by our consultant. Members' ideas included having our board briefs publicized, perhaps through the new local newspaper or via the township's email blast. We also discussed the possibility of having committees conduct focus groups to interact with the public and foster an exchange of ideas. Next, the committee discussed policy 5350, student suicide prevention, which had been tabled from our last meeting so that Dr. Hart could respond to questions members had about the policy's wording. Dr. Hart reported that he discussed the policy with Strauss, as well as our board attorney. He recommended that we maintain the language of the policy, which he noted has been our best practice for 15 years. Concerns were nonetheless expressed by some members about language which exclude the parents from the school counselor's initial screening evaluation of the child, or which require the reporting to the Division of Child Protection of any parent who objected to the school counselor's recommendation. Dr. Hart recommended against changing the wording of the policy, but he did rearrange the order of the policy's language to clarify that the requirement of reporting to the Division of Child Protection would come after the screening process, and the requirement that the parent obtain medical clearance for the child to return to school. The policy as modified is on the agenda for tonight's meeting. Next, we discussed policy 2530, resource materials review. And this pertains to how our district curates books and resource materials, which one member wanted to revisit in light of the state's Freedom of Read Act that was recently passed by the legislature. So awaiting the governor's signature. Another member objected that we should not be revisiting policies without complying with the required protocol for doing so. This in turn led to a discussion of item number 4, which we'll discuss, policy review protocols, which sets forth requirements for reviewing policies. For example, policies can be reviewed if a recommendation is made by the board president and superintendent, or with the consensus of the full board. It was also noted that any member can always bring up a request to review a policy at a full board meeting by way of new business. Here was noted that policy 2530 is properly on our agenda at the request of a member and the approval of the superintendent and board president. The committee went on to discuss the Freedom of Read Act and the expectation that our committee will likely have to create a new policy for how we curate resources in our library in response to the law. And then we went on to discuss the bylaws to review policies. And the committee plans to begin a review of policies which are outdated or require revisions, or which members wish to have a further discussion on, subject to the agreement of the superintendent and the board president. Dr. Hart recommended that our next policy committee agenda include the first series of policies that we will review, with time frames for review and a deadline to bring the revised policy to the committee. Next, we discussed the protocol for maintaining HIB records, harassment, intimidation, and bullying records. It was noted that there is no requirement that the district maintain a HIB charge on a student's permanent record. However, Dr. Hart recommended that as a matter of protocol, the district should maintain a separate file to track HIB charges against a student. Next, we discussed steps toward the creation of a cell phone policy. Dr. Hart shared guidance from the NJ Department of Education, which listed factors that boards should consider when formulating cell phone policies. He also provides sample cell phone policies from other districts. Dr. Hart also shared some of the steps already taken by the administration, including showing screenagers to parents, purchasing screenager lessons for students, and updating student handbooks with rules such as instructing students to place cell phones in backpacks. Dr. Hart recommends gathering further information before formulating a policy, including having parent forums. So on the agenda tonight is policy 5350, and we schedule our next meeting for December 2nd at 4 p.m.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions regarding those minutes at all?
I have a comment and a question. So for one, I think it's a great idea to provide the booklet on Robert's rules. I attended that session at the convention. I thought it was well worthwhile. A lot of great information, so I like that.
I'm just trying to understand policy 5350 on student suicide prevention. So at what point are the parents notified? I'm trying to kind of understand what you just read through. So the counselor, just walk me through this. The counselor does an initial screening, and then at what point is a parent involved?
We call the parent upon doing the initial screening and say we use the Columbia screener, contact the parent, tell them they can come to the school, or we can call them as soon as we're done and let them know how everything went. And usually the child's already in with the counselor.
Okay, so this contacting DCP&P, that's when, if a parent were to object.
Correct. And if it results in a child needing further clearance in order to return to school, and if there's an objection somewhere, we would call DCP&P to get the child back into school, to have the parent comply with whatever that clearance recommendation, if there was some sort of potential threat or ideation.
Justine, you should just say, you should know, I'm not happy with the wording of the policy. I'm actually going to vote against adopting this policy. I didn't object to it being put on the agenda because, we did spend a lot of time on it. But that was my thinking on it.
What's your hesitation on it? What's the wording that you're?
I don't like the automatic, I don't like the mandated reporting of the parent to the DCPP if they disagree with the screening process.
So meaning if they disagree with the screening process, they disagree with the outcome of the screening? What is that exactly?
Well,
The counselor screens the student, you call the parent.
Mhm.
And then what could the parent object to?
So what we would do is the child could potentially be out of school until a clearance is provided by a mental health professional for them to return if they're a threat to themselves or others. If the parent doesn't comply with the recommendation, it could be considered neglect, which falls under notification to DCP&P.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Okay.
Oh, wait, I have one more, I'm sorry.
Sure.
I sent out the survey to all board members so that, because Jason and I are working on crafting new board member orientation. So if you haven't done it already, take the time to do it to inform our adjustments on the new board member orientation.
Can we get a roll call, please?
Mrs. DePinto,
Yes.
Mrs. Fiore,
Yes.
Mr. Rhodes. Yes. Mrs. Menzer,
Yes.
Mr. Beach.
Yes on 6.01, no on 6.02.
Mrs. Pogorski,
Yes.
Mrs. Ryan,
Yes.
Mrs. Wolf,
Yes.
Dr. Cecile.
Yes.
Passes.
Moving on to unfinished business. Anything at all? Next month, the gentleman's gonna come though to make the report for the referendum.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that would-
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a little bit out of order. We wanted him to come tonight to inform the full board of, referendum sort of 101, how it's gonna work. And then we were gonna go to the community forum, which is on December 3rd. We would still want to keep that date. We put an ad in the newspaper already. So we're gonna keep that date. So board members are welcome to attend if you want to attend that community forum, but then he'll be back in December, correct, Jason? To really just talk to the board about preparing for referendum as well.
So the same gentleman is making the presentation on December 3rd? I see.
Yeah,
What was the date of the community one?
December 3rd, 6:30 here. It'll be out in Genesis this Friday, and then in the Wednesday blast, and it'll appear in the December 1st issue of the Chronicle as well.
Anything else for unfinished business? All right, moving on to new business from the board. Well, that's actually what you just talked about.
There it is.
All right.
Oh, and if you click the link, we developed a website that we're gonna launch as well for the referendum. So that's in the link, right? The link is live, I think, in the agenda. So take a look.
Dr. Cecile, just real quick
Yeah.
for referendum, just a suggestion to maybe ask the schools to put it on their calendar for that night, like you do superintendent chats.
Mhm.
So it shows up on parent calendars.
Anything else regarding that before we get to the workshop? Anything else about that? Okay, the other new business is the NJSBA workshop that I know some people attended. and got some good feedback. So do you guys want to share some of what you need to share at all for this or not?
I mean, I sent an email the other day. I don't know if everybody read it, but I thought there was some really good, especially with the referendum. That superintendent was very excited and to share all his ideas. I thought there were some really great ideas, how we got the students, the parents, and the community involved. I also shared some ideas on committees, but you guys can just read through my email.
Great.
Thank you.
And of course, to keep it away from the seniors. Is that right? Is that what I read? Did I read that correctly? Don't poke the bear. I'm sorry, I just had to say it.
It's finest.
In the interest of transparency, let's keep it away from the seniors. Anyway, okay, but I'm glad it was a good experience. Anyone else want to comment on that experience? Yes.
The few things that I took away from the workshop, I forwarded to Mr. Bowen and Dr. Hart, just more administrative type things, and attended similar to governance for committees session, which I think, Ellen, you were in that also, so I thought that was a really good session, which I'm sure will kind of play out with however we structure and change committees in the coming year. And then the one that I did send to Dr. Hart was on student wellness, very good presentation and an idea of how to kind of take the next step from SEL, which is, sort of the, I don't want to say it's not one-sided, but yes, the curriculum-based. And this is, potential lessons that students can do on their own Chromebook, like certain target areas in areas to help with social settings or feeling connected to the school, that sort of thing. So I forward that information to Dr. Hart. And also the EV buses, which reminds me, Mr. Bowen might have a really good booklet that I picked up for you, so I'm gonna share that with you on the EV bus stuff. That's it, thank you.
Thank you.
And I'll share the information for SEL with you too, Anthony.
Thank you. Anyone else? Well, I thank you for going, for, taking the time to go to these workshops. I know they're informative, and I commend people who take time out of your schedule to attend. So thank you for that and sharing that information, honestly, with everyone. If there's nothing else, we're moving on to, we're now open to the public for anything. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, one more thing, new
Yeah.
business. I just wanted to share for New Jersey school boards that the Hunterdon County, what do they call it? Committee meeting, Hunterdon County.
School board meeting, like the.
Yeah, I forget the exact term.
County
The county
The
meeting,
county
yes, the county meeting, is on December 4th. It's from 6 to 8:30 at JP Case, if anyone's interested. You can go on and register, and Dr. Hart will actually be one of the speakers. The topic is curriculum alignment and professional development.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
You have a busy 2 nights, right? December 3rd and December 4th.
My anniversary is the 5th.
Oh, busy 3 nights. All right.
Yep.
I'm sorry, so we are now open to the public for anything on or off the agenda. All right. Can we get a motion to adopt the following resolution, that we are resolved to adjourn to executive session in accordance with the Sunshine Law to discuss HIBs and legal matters for approximately 60 minutes, at which time the board expects to return to public session where action may be taken. The matters discussed will be made public if and when the circumstances requiring confidentiality no longer exist. However, it is not presently known when such circumstances will exist.
So move that. Second, Carolyn.
Can we get a roll call, please?
Ms. DePindo,
Yes.
Mrs. Fiore,
Yes.
Mr. Lopes,
Yes.
Mrs. Mentor,
Yes.
Mr. Peach,
Yes.
Mrs. Bagorski,
Yes.
Ms. Ryan,
Yes.
Ms. Wolf,
Yes.
Dr. Seuss.
Yes. Okay.